Radio Real.
Alright, what up, what up? In today's episode, we're going to be talking all about fat burners and if you should be using it. Alright, what's up, my beautiful people? I thought I'd bring it outside today because it's really nice outside. Today's video is going to be short and sweet, and as I had already mentioned, today we're going to be talking all about fat burners and if it's worth your time and energy. So I mean, with that said, let's go ahead and dive straight into the topic. And I like to first start off by saying fat burners are just a supplement, and that's the only way you should look at it. It's not a magic pill, and it's not going to magically burn off fat. You're probably thinking, yo, AJ, what does fat burners actually do then? Well, it burns fat, but to a certain extent. And I always tell clients that fat burners have ingredients that do burn fat in a sense because of its thermogenic properties. It can help break down fat faster. So for example, instead of fat as like a solid rock, some of the properties of fat burners will break that up into smaller pieces. That way when you work out, it's easier for you to burn. Does that make sense? Cool. And some of the ingredients that you'll find in fat burners are like green tea extract, you'll find cayenne pepper, and olive leaf extract. So there's a bunch of extracts going on in fat burners. But regardless of these ingredients, I highly recommend that you really focus on your diet and training before you even think of fat burners. Because the reason why is, if your diet and training alone is not allowing you to lose weight, and you should be losing weight at about 1 to 2 pounds per week, that's how you know your training regimen and diet regimen is working for you. If that's not happening for you, you have to take fat burners out of your head and stop wasting your energy on it because it's just a waste of time. Think about it. If you are taking fat burners, right, and you have, say, a really good one that has quality ingredients, but you're over there eating a dozen donuts, pizza, ice cream, pasta, and anything you can think of. If you're in a complete calorie surplus, no fat burner in the market is going to save you. No lie. So, how do you go about fat burners? Well, if your diet is putting you in a calorie deficit, so say you're hitting your protein, you're hitting your carbs, and you're hitting your fats, and at the end of the day, those calories add up to a calorie deficit. Say you're supposed to eat 1,200 calories a day to be at a deficit. Then, if you add a training regimen, you're gonna burn even more calories, putting you more into a deficit, and then you add a fat burner on top of that, it's going to put you even more into a deficit. You see where I'm going with this? A calorie surplus with all that other food that you're consuming won't save you if you're completely up there with your calories. Alright? Does that make sense? Cool. So if you add a fat burner to a working diet and training regimen, you may lose up to, instead of 1 to 2 pounds, you may lose up to 1.5 to 2.5 pounds. And the results may vary. This is a very generalized number. Again, I emphasize, fat burners are only great if your current diet and training routine is also great. Black coffee, it's amazing. So let's say that your training and diet regimen is working for you, and you want to take it to that next level, so you're in the market for a fat burner, and that's great. I mean, that mindset right there is gonna get you places, because with that mindset you are gonna take your current regimen to that next level. So which one do you buy? Well, let's get straight to the point about companies and branding. A lot of these companies that are marketing their fat burners out there all pretty much have similar ingredients. They haven't created a groundbreaking ingredient that's going to just do everything all together. There's nothing new in the market that's extraordinary like that. So what brands do is they get a list of all the fat burning ingredients in the market, and then they pick and choose different ones, and then they'll put a little bit of this, a concentration of that, and this, and then they'll put a little bit more green tea extract here, and then they'll package it up and make it real nice and sell it. That's how they do it. I want to talk about one key thing that you need to know about any supplement you take, regardless if it's fat burners, regardless if it's protein, regardless if it's, vitamins. I need you to know this, and that is know exactly what ingredients are in each supplement. Knowing what goes in your body and the effects it's supposed to do for your body is crucial for your health, long-term health, because if you're just putting random stuff in your body and you don't know why you're taking it, it's going to lead to a lot of bad health effects. It might just even bite you in the ass later down the road. So now I'm going to talk about which one I actually take. Finally, right? The one I take is Vintage Burn by Old School Labs. And no, they are not paying me to say this. I have no affiliation with them. I just like the company. And I've done my own research. And here's the most important reason why I like to take Vintage Burn by Old School Labs. It's because of the honesty of their company. They list out all their ingredients in an easy to read fashion. So they list it all out so you know exactly what you're getting into. And that's the most important thing. And another thing they also do is they strive on making that a point. And the whole company's message is, speaking clarity of putting really high quality ingredients into their supplement. And they make fat burners simple. The concept of fat burners should not be complex, and it should be the simplest thing in the world. Here's how you should go about looking for fat burners. You need a fat burner that just lists all the ingredients in an easy to read fashion, and it tells you exactly what it's going to do and why it's going to do it. It's going to tell you why the ingredients are doing it for you, and you're going to read the reviews. But obviously I do want you, if you are interested in the Vintage Burn by Old School Labs, I want you to go ahead and click the link in the bio to do some more research for yourself and see if it's a good fit for your current routine. Because honestly, if it works for me, it may not work for you, and it may not work for the other person, and it may work for the other person. But just take that into account, because everyone's body is different and everyone metabolizes different things different ways. So be conscious of that. So my final thoughts about fat burners is this. Don't use fat burners if you're not losing weight through diet and training alone. Do use fat burners if your diet and training is working for you and you want to take it up a notch. So there you have it, my honest thoughts about fat burners, and if you should be taking it or not. So really absorb this information, because this is something I wish someone had told me in the very beginning when I first started my journey, not to waste money on fat burners and utilize your money, time, and energy on figuring out what works with diet and training. If you like this video, you know what I'm going to say. Go ahead and smash that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace!